Early on in the shift, I get an order from Other Coast Cafe, and the customer must have known that the delivery person is an angel because she tipped me $75, a monster tip. After receiving such a generous tip, I think to myself that maybe working 12 hours every day for this entire month is going to be a little bit too rough. The last 2 hours, I can't even film because it's too dark. So I go ahead and decide to decrease it to 10 hours a day and rethink my plan in terms of how to approach dashing in an efficient manner. So I get an order from the sushi restaurant, and it's a pretty good order. I think that I can complete this order in 35 minutes because it's just a straight shot going through a highway, and it does, but it's over 8 miles for $17.25. And it got me thinking when I was talking to this other dasher who showed me his acceptance rate, it was like 15%. And I thought that was nuts when I saw it, but he was multi-apping, so that's just how it goes. And at that point, my acceptance rate was around 80%. And I thought, well, maybe I'm accepting these offers that are a little bit too far. I could probably be more efficient and I can accept smaller offers. If I do accept these smaller offers, I should aim to get close to 3 offers in an hour and able to complete them and only accept them around $10. So that will make me close to um, $30 an hour. Maybe 27 would be good enough for me. And I think that if I go at that pace, my car will take a less of a toll in terms of the miles I put on it. And so for today, I end up with breaking easily over $300 because of that monster tip. And so I'm is off to a great start. The start of day two, I get an order from Rachel's Bagels, and that's for $9.50 for 5 miles. I thought from eyeballing it, I thought it would only take me, like 5 minutes round trip. It was a lot longer. It was 10, 20 minutes round trip, but that's okay. Lesson learned there. Towards the middle of the shift, I get an order from Safeway for an alcohol run. There's just 3 items. And even though I think I can knock this out pretty fast in terms of getting the items because I know where it's located, I know that I usually don't accept these kinds of offers because there are hidden steps in it. The ideal situation for any DoorDasher is to go to the restaurant or location, pick it up, drive it over to the destination, drop it off, and that's it. That's the ideal situation. For these shop and delivers, there's there's finding the item, so that's a given. But the other extra things that you don't know about is that maybe it's a lot of items, so there's the unload and loading step that takes up time. For these Safeway steps, alcohol runs, you have to check the ID, so that's the extra time, and then also for you have to go through a line with a cashier. For every lady that's in front of you, that's an extra 5 minutes. So that's something that I try to dodge. I only accept these kinds of offers if I want to stretch my legs. Towards the end of this shift, I accept an offer from grocery outlet where I'm getting like 15 items, and that's just because I want to stretch my legs. And of course, when I get to the cashier, there is a line and there's a lady in front. Previously, I've driven about 11 to 12 miles every hour when I was less selective. And now that I'm more selective, I've driven about 9 to 10 miles every hour. So that's a huge improvement. And in terms of hourly rate, there's no penalty, and I've been still doing really well. There's no better way than to start the day than to make bad decisions. I accept a stacked order from Rachel's Bagels and Taco Bell for 7 miles, which is too far in terms of using our cherry picking strategy and only selecting short distances. But I just decided to go for a stroll anyway. Next, I get an order from Habit Burger, and Habit Burger used to be a really good go-to spot. They used to be really quick. Get in there, grab it, and go. But like I said, recently I've been having to fill up the customers' drinks, and a couple places classically do that. Wendy's, Wingstop, um, but now we got another restaurant doing it, and the jury's still out in terms of how people feel about it. With gas prices soaring and getting super crazy, I'm not a big fan of it. Some people are okay with it. Some people will bring the customer an empty cup, which is super crazy. But let me know what you think. What's your opinion on some of these restaurants having the dasher fill up the customer's drink for them? After giving this customer his order from Jack in the Box, he is not careful with it and he drops the bag. I go out there and help him, and then as I'm approaching, he drops his shake. So that's unfortunate for him. Well, that's another day done, day three, and I think we're going at a really good pace. I'm making just the same hourly amount as I was before the week prior, where I was working 12 hours. So that is holding steady, and but I am reducing the amount of miles I'm driving per day. So that is the huge plus, and I think that from here on out, I can only improve. So day four, I get an order from Unbien, which has amazing Caribbean food. And so of course I accept and deliver this delicious food to the customer. The weather for today is expected to rain later, and it's a little windy right now, so I'm wearing a jacket. But I'm feeling pretty good about myself. The switching from 12 hours to 10 hours, I feel a lot more energetic. I think working 12 hours was pretty rough. The last 2 hours, it was getting dark, and I'm just scraping out the last couple of orders was rough. So because I have an extra 2 hours, I accept this order from Unbien, which is a little bit further than I usually accept. This one's 7 miles, and because I have those extra 2 miles, I'm able to consistently work out every day. And given that I'm switching from working to working out, I now have a lot more energy, and so that's something that you should also do as a dasher. Given that I'm feeling such joy, I decide to accept a flower delivery from Safeway. And normally, I really don't like doing these. The directions for delivering this Safeway is horrendous. If the customer doesn't pick up the phone for a contactless delivery, you're gonna have to bring it back, which I have not done so far yet. But if I weren't savvy about how to contact the customer, then I would have probably half of the time. So I go ahead and deliver these flowers and spread the joy to other people. As the rain is coming in and raining on my parade, that's the end of day four. I'm still able to keep my hourly rate pretty consistently high given all the changes that I made. So let's just keep this going and carry this over through the rest of the week. On the fifth day, I get an offer from Office Depot for shop and deliver, and this kind of surprised me because you are used to doing food type work where it's like shop and deliver at a grocery store or shop and or just deliver from a restaurant, and so I decided to accept this offer, even though I feel very strongly against some of these offers because they're oftentimes not worth the price. But I get for this order, I had to go get 2 ink cartridges, and that's not too difficult. I think this is pretty simple. There shouldn't be a long line. This is much better than something like Petco. And so I go ahead and grab it and bring it over to the customer. Something else that's a drawback is that the tipping for these kinds of orders is not established. So it's not always a great offer, but this one was not too bad at all. Jumping from one hotspot to another, I get an order from Blue Star Cafe for $9. This will put me close to ending at a destination where I'm close to another hotspot. So of course I accept this one for $9, and that's good timing for me. Ratio wise, I'm shooting for $9 to $10 every 20 minutes, and so this definitely fits the category. I quickly get another order from Rachel's Bagels, and this lands me at another hotspot. It's really close to Chick-fil-A, so Chick-fil-A, and in the morning it's not that busy, but it gets a few orders so that I'm able to get in there and get my order and leave. So I'm gonna try my luck with this order, and I get a nice payout of $9.50 for not too long of work. So that's it for day 5. I wanted to highlight the morning because I started off super hot. I was $120 plus after 3.5 hours of work, and after that, it just died down. I don't know what happened, but somehow, some way, I always end up with 270 to 280 for 10 hours of work. Day 6 starts me off at Other Coast Cafe for $10.50 to bring it over to Magnolia, and I love going over there. All there is nice houses over there, and so the tips are often really, really good. And so, of course, I accept this offer and I go over there. But this area, Magnolia, is part of a different zone. It's part of the central Seattle zone, so I don't know where all the hot spots are. So oftentimes I just go there and deliver and get out. But today was different. I actually got a stacked order from Acorn Floral, and this place was legit. The person there was really professional. She even directed me, like, how to set the flowers so that it's straight, and I told her I had a box so it's organized. I'm not putting it on a seat or anything. Versus Safeway, the people who work there are professional too, but the setup is horrendous. If you can't contact the customer, the person that you're delivering it to, then you got to bring it back. But this place, Acorn Floral, they set out directions on what to do if the customer is not there or they don't respond. They say just to set it in an area that is away from the sun, and that's convenient for the driver. And when I deliver these flowers, man, they are so happy. I was thrilled to be delivering these flowers for the customer. Day 6 was pretty smooth sailing. I got small orders and big orders. Those flowers kind of slowed me down a little bit. But I got a pizza order later on in the day with $16 tip. So that brought me up to speed. And again, just for the day, I got between 270 and 280. It just always lands between those numbers for 10 hours of work. And that's it for day 6. Okay, so last day of our 10-hour, switching to doing 10-hour shifts, and I get an order from Walgreens. I decide to accept it because my spider senses told me so. And sure enough, it was a mother in need. Her child is sick and she needs a thermometer and some medicine. Um, the the thermometer, I was in my head, I thought it might take me a while to find it, but it didn't. It was in the same row as the medicine. Walgreens doesn't tell you which aisle is in, but I just went down the aisle and I found it. Unfortunately, it's locked up, so I had to go get the cashier to come over and unlock it. That took us some time, but being an anti-hero, you gotta sacrifice some time to help out the people in need. So I go ahead and deliver this over to Magnolia and save the day. The next order I get is from Katsu Burger, where the customer gives me some really confusing directions. He says to drop it off by the white fence facing the street, and the only white fence facing the street is the gate to a dumpster. And so I do that, and I don't clarify, which I should have. So he texts me, and I thought he was going to chew me out, but I messaged him back explaining it, and he realized it was his own fault. But lesson learned there. I get a couple more good orders. One where I get a $20 tip and a stacked order from Arishi Ramen and Alamode Pies, where I also get a nice payout. And so throughout the day, it's a nice steady ending to our stressful week. So surprise, surprise, to end the day, $276.08 for 10 hours of work, and a grand total of $2,022.21 for the whole week. And this is not too far off from the $2,256-ish I made the previous week, working 84 hours total, so 12 hours a day versus 10 hours a day. So doing this cherry picking really made things more efficient, and I was able to reduce the number of miles I drove every hour. So overall, it was a really great week, and let me know what you think. Let me know how any strategies you use for DoorDash, and I'll see you in the next video.